Local safety professionals and business leaders gathered in Marietta today for the Mid-Ohio Valley Safety Council's annual safety celebration. The event featured vendors, giveaways, and a keynote on wearable tech and artificial intelligence in the workplace. Our Cassidy Fury has the details.
The Mid-Ohio Valley Safety Council wrapped up its fiscal year with a bigger than usual meeting Wednesday, bringing the community to the Marietta Shrine Club for a vendor fair, networking, and safety resources.
Today, our Mid-Ohio Valley Safety Council is hosting our annual safety celebration. So of course, every month we hold a meeting talking about different safety topics, but this month we're ending our fiscal year and we're having an extra celebration with that. So we've combined our normal meeting with an additional vendor fair.
The Marietta Chamber of Commerce runs the Safety Council, helping connect businesses with tools that they can actually use on the job, no matter the industry.
We really cover every type of safety from the lens of workplace safety. So there's always things that are applicable to every type of business, from a small office to a very industrial field of work. And then, of course, those items are practical to take back home as well.
One vendor at the event, Fastenal, said being there is about more than marketing. It's about staying connected to safety leaders and helping keep workers protected.
The goal every day is to go home every night. Fastenal is a leader in the safety product category, supplying businesses like we have here in the Valley with all the manufacturing we have with safety and PPE needed so their workers can go home every night.
This year's featured speaker, Zachary Keel, said the next wave of workplace safety could come from technology many of us already use, artificial intelligence, just applied in a new way for frontline workers.
Not a lot of folks have really thought about what it can do for the health and safety of the frontline workforce. So that's what I'll be talking about, is the history of technology. I'll talk a little bit about where our technology came from in our partnership with the United States Air Force, and then how we're making an impact on the frontline workers through the use of technology and AI.
Organizers said the goal is for people to leave with ideas they can take straight back to the workplace, while also building connections with other local businesses. In Marietta, I'm Cassidy Fury with WTAP News.